What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. And if you've been paying attention to cryptocurrency over the last week or two, you've been noticing maybe that, I don't know, it's in the fucking toilet. And we're going to talk about why today. Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another G Crypto video. I'm your host, Seth. And as I intimated in the intro, actually, my crypto wallet has taken a beating over the last 2 weeks. I keep putting money into it and then I keep seeing it just go down, which has been really frustrating. And there's been a couple of reasons for that. But believe it or not, what I'm actually gonna tell you today, well, disclaimer first, I'm not a financial advisor. I barely know what the hell I'm talking about. I've said it many times before in the past in this channel. I am a barely literate buffoon. Nevertheless, I'm here to tell you today why I think that now, for the average investor, this is the best possible time to invest in cryptocurrency. And the reason for that is because everybody else is liquidating. And there's a couple of different reasons for that. And I wanted to talk about all of those reasons, or at least the big ones, and why, again, I think that it's a great time to invest, especially if you're the average investor who really doesn't have that much money to either gain or lose, like me. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into some of the reasons why I think that crypto is down and why industry analysts think that crypto is down, or rather know that crypto is down. And starting off with the Omicron variant. Now, obviously, if you've been paying attention, you've probably seen some of the headlines about the newest variant of COVID-19 that is way more infectious, more deadly, more everything, just bigger, badder, beefier COVID. And just as we saw when COVID first broke out, late 2019, early 2020, people are scared. And what that means is that people end up pulling their resources or pulling their things, liquidating their assets that they hold in traditional markets as well as cryptocurrency in these investments because they're higher risk. When bad things happen, people tend to pull out. People are afraid of keeping their money in and instead are liquidating while they still can. Another reason why the downturn in sort of overall financial markets, as well as in crypto in particular, especially crypto, is that China enacted some new regulations in the fall, back in early October, late September, that basically made cryptocurrency mining and essentially any exchange of cryptocurrency assets illegal. Now, prior to the enactment of these regulations, China was a huge market for cryptocurrency and for crypto mining because China has cheap electricity, and so a lot of miners were set up in sort of the western and central provinces of China. But as we know, cryptocurrency is decentralized, and China has a big issue with decentralized, anything, because they're, well, China. But they have a big issue with decentralized currency, I think, as a whole, because they can't monitor it as closely. They can't control it as closely as they can China's central bank. And so what they've done is enact regulation to make it illegal, citing that they're, protecting people's assets and that, they're ameliorating risk for the population of people who have money in Chinese markets. So they've made cryptocurrency, any services that offer cryptocurrency exchange illegal. They've made mining illegal. They basically just banned it, all of it. You know, that has taken a toll on crypto as a whole, as over the last month, miners and people who held cryptocurrency portfolios in China are liquidating everything because, they don't want to go to fucking jail. And finally, the last thing over the weekend that happened that I think is just, again, putting the cherry on the cake, it just seems like we're taking hits right and left, is that hackers stole $196 million from crypto exchange Bitmart. They stole $196 million, $100 million from the Ethereum blockchain, $96 million from the Binance Smart Chain blockchain, in a mix of about 20 different coins. That happened over the weekend. And this is just one of a couple of different hacks that have happened over the fall, even back in August when some guy stole $600 million from, who was it? I don't even remember, but stole $600 million and ended up returning it later. I don't know. That sounds kind of like a flex, like a hacker was just I can do it, so fuck you, but here's your money back. But nevertheless, this hack has been one in a string of different events that have happened over the course of the last several months that has led to some people wondering if blockchain and if cryptocurrency is as secure and safe and sort of really decentralized as, people have made it out to be, including proponents like myself. So all of these events and some others, I think, have conspired to just drive the prices of crypto down. But if you haven't noticed, there's a common theme running through all of these things, and that's one thing: fear. Now we're gonna go all the way back to economics school because there's a thing called aggregate demand, which is basically the indicator for how well an economy is going to do. And there's 4 primary drivers of aggregate demand. But one of the big ones is consumer expectations. And consumer expectations, believe it or not, is one of the biggest drivers, like I said, of overall economy. And that just means what people think are going to happen. And one of the interesting things about this, and I just remember this so clearly from my economics classes in college, was that consumer expectations oftentimes are a self-fulfilling prophecy, meaning that when people are afraid something is going to happen, they enact the very thing that they were afraid was going to happen by acting accordingly, right? And so what we have now is hackers hacking into major cryptocurrency exchanges and stealing millions. We've got China, the second biggest market in the world, making cryptocurrency and any cryptocurrency related things illegal. And then finally, we have a global pandemic that appears on the horizon to maybe get worse, especially as we're just starting to feel like maybe we're getting close to seeing the light at the end of that tunnel. And now we've got this different variant coming that might completely screw things up all over again for us and send us back to 2020. So as you can see, there's a lot of fear right now in the world about how markets are going to perform, about how economies are going to perform, about what things are going to happen. And because of that fear, what investors are doing all across the board is they are liquidating a lot of their assets, especially in their higher risk portfolios like cryptocurrency, and moving that liquidity either into cash so that they can hold on to it, or something like gold, stabler investments, things like government bonds and things like that. So we have this massive migration of wealth away from cryptocurrency, which means that the market is getting flooded with cryptocurrency coins, and that is driving prices down, because if you decrease demand, the supply remains constant, you drive that price point down. And so that's kind of what is happening right now. But I think ultimately that's actually a good thing for people like you and me, because I actually genuinely believe that right now is the best time to invest, because everybody is so afraid, especially the people who have a lot of sort of leveraged assets in cryptocurrency are selling. That means that the prices are going down and making it more accessible for your average investor. Like, I don't have a ton of money to invest in cryptocurrency. I'm not one of these YouTubers who's got, thousands and thousands of dollars to chuck around. I'm talking about, $20 to $100 at a time that I like to invest. And so what I've actually been doing, believe it or not, is buying more and more, which is so counterintuitive and kind of hard to do, even for me. But I think, like I said, now is the best time because everybody is afraid. Some of the most historic and awesome investments that were ever made were made in places when things were really, really bad. Historically, the worst times from an economic perspective became the best economic decisions that a lot of people made, 5-10 years later. So I'm buying. And I'm not saying that I think you should, but I think it's a very interesting point to be made at the very least. So that's really it for today, guys. I just wanted to talk about those sort of three, those couple of events that have happened. Obviously, the Omicron variant and how I think that's affecting things. More importantly, that big hack that happened over the weekend. And again, just kind of give my perspective on why I think, despite the weekend that we've had and how bad things look, why I think it's actually a great time. So that has been it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that you got something valuable out of this. If you did, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, do all of the great things. We've got a lot of great upcoming content for you. I think my next video, I'm actually going to be talking about some of the upcoming land sales in the NFT gaming metaverse, because there's been some very exciting things happening in that space. And I've been on the lookout, and I'm going to continue to be on the lookout for some awesome opportunities. So again, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.